Your field stabilized. Intaro Atun.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, gonna be a ZVP featuring Queen and Mini here on Bloody Ridge. Had a 43-minute game between these two players back in 2020. It was an amazing game full of Reavers and Storm and Lurkers and Defilers and all sorts of great stuff. If you want a long macro game featuring these two players, let me know. I'll put a link in the description for you. Top right, we got ourselves Mini, who was an excellent Protoss player. He's purple today. And on the bottom left of this two-player map, it is going to be Queen, who does love his queens very much. He's going to be playing teal today. Again, two-player map. Terry, your job is very easy today. Just go scout cross spawn. You will find the Protoss player. You will probably die, but not before sending valuable information back to the Hive and the Swarm. Well, it's not a Hive yet, but it will be. It will be. Or maybe it won't. Maybe it's just Lair Tech today. Maybe it's just going to be Lurkers and Hydras versus Mini's Protoss. We've seen that before, right? It's good up until a point, and that point is when Storm and Reavers come out. Which is a problem for many a Zerg player. Plague doesn't counter them. Dark Swarm doesn't counter them. Mutalisks kind of counter them. As long as you can dodge Storm. Anyway, Forge Fast Expand. Forge Expand? Yes, Forge Expand into the expansion. Well, Forge Expand takes into account the expansion, that's for sure. Little Drone, what are we doing here? Are we checking? Wow, are we checking for proxies? Respect on Mini's proxy game, that's for sure. Wait a second. What? Taking your first base to the third base? Your natural is empty. Okay, interesting. I wonder if this is mind games. This is just like, you're trying to think Mini that you're one base in him, so he throws up a ton of cannons and defense and he's worried and worried and stuff, but I don't know. This is interesting. I mean, it wasn't a hatch first play, obviously, so maybe these lings are out early and you can see this probe. There we go. So now the probe's like, nope, my job is to see if there's a base down here. Now here's the trick. You're going to be like, oh, just threw it down. Okay. Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know what the purpose of that was for Queen, but Queen is a good enough Zerg player. I'm not going to second guess him on anything. As the Zerg music happens in the background. Huh. Very strange indeed, but we'll roll with it. Hope you like the new intro. I've been messing around with, you know, different introductions here. Trying to make it more Brood War specific, because I'm not sure if you're aware, but the intro sound for my channel, for both Brood War and StarCraft 2 content for a long time, for years and years and years and years, was the Nidus Worm Scream. Not Nidus Canal, Nidus Worm Scream from StarCraft 2, which I've always thought was interesting and exciting, but then, you know, I got to a point, apparently recently, where I was like, no, you know, I don't. Why? Like, why is it a StarCraft 2 sound for my Brood War cast? And I should have had that thought years ago, but I didn't. So anyway, hope you're enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I think it sounds really good to me. So if you have any feedback, let me know. I've heard people kind of be both ways on it. I've heard more people being supportive of it and fewer people kind of missing the old way, but, you know, that's how things are. Very few things you do in life will ever be 100% accepted by every single person who is aware of the change that you made. Can promise you that. Metabolic boost on the way again after the lair timing. Very, very standard stuff. This is an RJB replay sent to me from RJB of the StarCraft Persuasion. You know him. You know his channel. You can check him out at RJB TV on YouTube. So a bunch of lings out. Zealot here for minor harassment purposes, but like, no. Yeah, I don't think so. He's going to be able to get a couple kills here, but he's horribly outnumbered. Okay, yeah, that's fine. You know what? If you want to get 2 kills, that's great. We'll give you 2 kills, Zealot. It's not what you want. Another Zealot is out, but one Zealot on his own, not exactly fantastic. Terry's like, yep, that's a Stargate. Get out of here. That's right, Terry. You fly as fast as you can, which is not fast at all. But still, What's going on? This is pretty standard opening stuff. Not much to talk about. Citadel coming in next. Oh, there's new Rick and Morty season announced. They released kind of like a Vindicators mini season on YouTube in a really weird format. Like, it's 10 2-minute episodes, 10 2.5-minute episodes. And I get, like, the story's all split up, and I get that. They didn't want to, like, animate and voice act an entire season of it. So it's kind of little bite-sized, you know, Rick and Morty stuff. There's, you know, philosophical thought in there. There's drama. There's good writing, good character development and stuff. There's some silliness. I mean, that's just what Rick and Morty is. Rick and Morty is kind of one of those things that it might be the example of something where the fan base is so annoying to the larger population that the thing they're a fan of becomes disliked solely because of the people. You know? Zealot's got a kill. Good for him. I don't know. I've never really cared about that. Like, I really don't care what people think about me because I love Rick and Morty. If you want to think less of me, it doesn't bother me at all. I just enjoy it. I'm not trying to hurt anyone over here. I'm just enjoying a TV show. Anyway, what's going on, man? What's after the Citadel? Well, let's see. We're getting cannons up because we're worried about potential mutas, while Scourge more particularly. This is some pretty concerted Zealot pressure, man. This is like the third, fourth, and fifth Zealots to show up. And, they got trapped. They got trapped on this bridge. They're all going to die. They're going to take a lot of lings with them. Maybe not as many as they wanted to. Throwing up a macro hat to the third base. I love that. Like, look, there are just certain players that I cast. Queen is one of them. And they're doing everything right. Protoss, yeah. Protoss doing everything right here, too. Just don't have any concerns about either of these players, but they know what they're doing. They know what their opens are. It is Mutalisks. He didn't really commit to a ton of mutas. It's 3. So this is kind of a nice number because it forces some cannons out of the Protoss. Also, it makes Zealots run away. So that's a definite bonus. But you're not like making 5 or 10 mutas where it's like, okay, well, you can win with this, but only if the Protoss isn't adequately prepared for it. If they're prepared for it, you can't. And, you know, Protoss knows how to do it. Corsairs are amazing at this kind of thing. Cannons are really good, too. Yeah, see, Corsair, Oh, it's, no, it's 4. It's 4 Mutalisks now, but when you're stacked up, you're taking extra hits. We talked about this. Yeah, there's a reason that the Mutalisk opening is not incredibly common in ZVP. It's because Corsairs were invented. We know this. Zealots running into the natural base trying to get some stuff done. I like this a lot. There's one sunken, but that's it, man. Like, Scourge come back. They're like, can we help? No, we can't. But, you know, the mutas can. The mutas can help. Oh, these Zealots, though. Gosh, I don't know. Did the mutas do anything? They kind of chased some Zealots away, but these could have been Hydras on the resources here. These could have been Zerglings that these mutas are resources for, and they're going to snipe the Spire and everything. Yeah, I mean, they didn't kill a ton of drones, but they definitely sniped the Spire. Speedlots are very, very mean. They have a +1 attack, and they've got +1 attack in the mix here, too. Oh, yeah. Another attack, another giant attack coming in. This Sunken got killed. No! Drones have to fend for themselves. This is really bad. This is super bad for Queen. Just not prepared. This is what happens when you try to defend Zealot leg attacks. If you don't have Hydras and you don't have Lurkers. That's it. If you tried to go Mutalisks, they do kill the Zealots. They're very good at killing the Zealots, just not quickly. Right? My gosh. Okay, drone count's at 36 right now. 48 probes are on the field. Third base warping in from Mini. So Mini is ahead. Mini's done normal stuff here. This isn't crazy, right? You make Corsairs, you make Speedlots, you give them +1, you go, brah. You try to attack and kill the Zerg player. Zerg players often rebuff those attacks because they've got Hydras behind this wall, with Sunken supporting them, and maybe even Lurkers if they're fast enough. And that does a much better job at handling those kind of attacks. If all you have are a handful of Lings, a Sunken, and like 5 mutas, no, that's not going to work at all. And it didn't. He's down 52 to 36 workers now. I know he's supposed to be down in workers to a certain extent. This is too much. There's High Templar at the third base. Remember we said about Storm earlier? Yeah, there's that Storm. It's almost done. Almost done. Lings could jump on these Zealots, maybe. But, I mean, there's DTs out. There's Storm almost available on that high ground. Bloody Ridge I don't know. Do we want to call it a Protoss favored map in this matchup? I kind of feel like every PvZ I've cast on this map, it's been hard for Zergs. Like, there are places you can expand, but not a million places to expand. Taking the center is a nightmare for anyone. But in a situation where the Zerg kind of needs it for that extra income situation, right? It gets real hard for him. Ling's on the run by maybe, but there's 2 cannons and a High Templar with Storm back there. So let's not go into there. 'Tis a silly place. Replacing his Spire because he feels like he needs them. If just to snipe Corsairs, trying to snipe Observers too. There are Hydras being produced here at 10 minutes now, but, you know, they could have been produced a bit earlier. Obviously, if we didn't invest quite so much into those Mutalisks. So we'll see what Queen's follow-up is going to be here. I mean, the good thing for him is he didn't just lose the Mutas for nothing. They provided value for him. They're here. They got their energy back, or their health back from getting shot by the Corsairs a bit. You know, they weren't down to, like, 0. They were down to, like, 0 health, but whatever. And DT says, no, you don't get this top left base. I say so, or I'm dead. And he's dead. That works out quite nicely. Zealots are like, is there a base down here we can kill? No, absolutely not. There is good scouting, though, guys. Way to go on that one. These Lings just dancing, being active. Okay, see some Dragoons out. All right, all right. Have we seen Lurker Tech come through yet? I don't know that we have. I haven't been watching the production tab as closely maybe as I should. But regardless, I don't think it's here. I really don't think so. I think he'd have some Lurkers by now if he had... Oh, he's making noise. All right. You know, I'm trying to find some faith to place in Queen here, but wow, he's making 7 more Mutas. Okay. I mean, look, Lurkers are not very good against this Dragoon heavy army. That's for sure. You know what's also not very good against a +2 Dragoon heavy army? Mutas. Mutas are not that great in this situation. You know what is pretty good against a particular comp? Ling Hydra. Just Ling Hydra getting us around on this. Trying to bait storms out, trying to make the Protoss storm his own stuff. That's always pretty effective. But not doing that at all. All right, so top left 4th base is now coming in from the aforementioned Zerg player, Queen. And it is 132 to 124 supply, 55 to 43 workers. I mean, Queen's doing okay economically. He isn't falling any further behind because he's an amazing macro player, obviously. Yep, Zealot making sure this base happens. This is a terrible... Skirt! Oh! Oh! Alright, okay. Mutas trying to... there we go. Sniping some of those High Templar. That is the one thing they're pretty good at. And the Corsairs weren't microed by minis, so some major Scourge hits connected there. And a bunch of Mutas made it out. Not all of them, not even close. What did he have? 7 close. He had 11. He's down to 8 now. So, I mean, look, 3 Mutas died. It's not the end of the world at all. Mass Hydralisk is out. And what did we say earlier? There were High Templar getting sniped. Suddenly this Mass Dragoon army is like, oh, we were counting on Storm to deal with all of these Hydralisks with +1, with speed, with range, with +2 on the way. Lurker aspect is now coming in for the Zerg player, Queen. He needs to make a move now because Protoss is quickly up on 4 bases here in just a half second. He'll be able to pull this off. And I would straight up engage into this. There's no High Templar in this army. None! Oh, and the Zealot count isn't really having a... Dude, Queen. Queen has completely proved me wrong here. You know what? It's fair. I did for... Oh, gets another... All right. The High Templar sniping. I just completely forgot the High Templar sniping. We don't see it enough in Brood War. Is Mutas sniping High Templar to a certain extent. There's 1 High Templar here without a Thunder for a Storm. That's it. That Storm is gone. That's your ball game. Oh my gosh. The Zealot count is getting thinned out. The Hydra count is really, really high. More Zealots are coming in, though. They're buffering. That's what they do. They tank for the Dragoons who are sitting back and doing damage. They're not nearly as tanky. They are squishy boys. Ob's getting sniped out here. Chasing down that High Templar who doesn't have it. Oh, will never have enough energy for a Storm, actually. Sniping down a Corsair. Okay, Queen coming back here. Got a ton of Hydras out, keeping that High Templar count low. Which, I mean, look, that's the goal of every Zerg player. Keep the High Templar count low. It's really simplistic. It's really hard to do. Easier if you have those Mutas sniping them High Templar from above. That's hard to do, though. So, look. Everything in StarCraft is hard. Let's just end it there. Fourth base, not all that defended. I guess there's 3 cannons at the top of the ramp, which isn't ideal. Queen's undecided. Queen's not sure. Do we want to just contain here? So 2 storms, 3 storms of it? 4, 5? Okay. Well. So you killed a bunch of High Templar. There's 6 of them now, though, and they all have a storm available. This is going to look a lot worse. Oh, that was a whiff of a storm. We don't see that very much at all. And then Queen kind of trying to back the Protoss into a corner here, but the Protoss has sharp teeth. And is going to bash his way out here. Where are your overlords? You need to... Okay. Wop, wop. DT getting some work done. Pulls back. He's got 7 kills. What an absolute boss. Oh, his overlord got killed by cannons. Oh no, DT can get more work done now, but he's not doing it. Hydra trying to push. Snipes another High Templar, trying to deny a shield upgrade that Mini's working on after getting plus... Wait, was that plus 3? Plus 3 attack and plus 1 armor. Bam, does deny the shield upgrade. Really nicely done there. I think Mini's okay. Sure, there's lurkers at the front. He's got good upgrades. He's got more High Templar popping out with storms, almost with storms all the time. Yeah, he's going to hold here. He just loses an obs. He loses a gateway. He loses a forge. He loses a pylon. But he's all right. He's doing fine. He's still got 57 probes. He hasn't lost a base yet. He's got a ton of production available. He's pumping High Templar out 2 at a time. The storms have now arrived. And he was just waiting. He was just waiting for the lurkers to try to burrow in and kill them. And then attacking into that tiny little choke as a Zerg player is a horrifically bad idea. Beautiful storm there, too. Yeah, Mini's fine. Mini's cool. He's calm. He's collected. This is why, you know, you gotta like casting Mini. He's just really solid. Nice ob snipe. Ob snipes are big. Hydra's trying to engage here. Archon in the mix too. Dodging storms. Queen is as good at dodging storms as anybody. But there you go. Getting those zealots out with those upgrades. Another ob snipe though. Oh, that's big. That ob snipe was humongous. Okay. Man, without that ob snipe, all those lurkers would be dead. What? Micro. Another obs pops out. But now the zealots are in a position where they can't really deal with these lurkers at all. They're doing a ton of damage up at the front. Suddenly, Queen is up 93 to 85 total supply. He has to evacuate his natural base entirely here. He's going to lose the robo. Oh, no. Those were for obs. Wow. I don't know that I've seen a ZVP quite like this in some time. Queen's just like, yo, I'm going right for your natural. You're not going to try to pick at the outside bases? No. He says, not at all. I'm going right with the natural. Going to go right into the man. I'm going to try to kill this Protoss player now. And going through that, that's the problem, is going through this choke. It's a choke on this base, or on this map, rather. But on a lot of maps, it's just a narrow ramp leading up, which is even worse. So this is why we don't see this from Zerg players as often. They don't go right for the throat. But, you know, killing a base is killing a base. It's not as important as killing an outer base with a ton of resources on it, because this one was going to mine out eventually relatively soon anyway, right? That's the logic there. Okay, Lurker dies. Overlord dies. Oh, that storm is really effective. Already has 6 kills. Don't mind him. High Templar just coming through, racking up them kills for sure. Baiting the Hydras into a storm. Oh, that Lurker dies too. He was trying to flee. That did not work out for him at all. Queen's Nest on the way. Remember when I was like, maybe it's just Lair Tech today? Maybe it's just Hydra Lurker? And I was like, ha ha ha. But then kind of it is. But like I said, that window starts to fall apart. But you almost need Reavers, though. I don't know. What am I saying? I think High Templar's Zealot is probably enough. Argons are not going to help all that much here against the Hydra. It's really good against the Lurkers, yes. So that's the rationale for making these here. But, I mean, Mass Archon's not really going to help all that much. So Mini's up, 136 to 114 supply. He's got a bigger army. He's got a 3 base count to the 4 base of the Zerg. So all Queen really did here was even the odds a little bit. Now, this is a two-way street, right? Double-edged knife here, where going in is hard for the Zerg player, but also coming through the other way is very difficult for the Protoss. He has to go through this narrow choke. There's Lurkers splashing damage all over this area here, and it does the splash, and if you're in a small area, it's bad. Is he dropping? Oh, okay, Queen. Yep, Queen's one of those players who does know how to drop. Is he going to drop up here? He is going to drop up here. If you can avoid these cannons... All right, beautiful. Okay, that's some disgustingly good positioning there. He got it just out of range of all of these cannons to the south. Then the storm clears most. Oh, he picked up some of his Hydras and the Overlord to protect them from the storm. Oh, okay. That was one of the more surgical strikes from a drop position I've ever seen from a Zerg player. So here comes Mini. He's like, that was bad. I gotta get the Zerg out of my front door now if I'm gonna win this game. My base is completely toast. Big engagement here. Great concave from Queen, though. Just being like, nah. Nah, you're not getting here, friends. That was amazing. I mean, I don't want to call it over, but it's 116 to 94 supply. More reinforcing Hydras are here. There's no High Templar in this army. None. And Mini has to back it out. And this Nexus is going to die. It's going to completely knock Mini down to one mining base. His main base is mined out. The storms are good, but they're gone. That's it. He doesn't have endless storms today because he couldn't snowball that High Templar count because the Mutas sniped a bunch of the early High Templar. That was it, man. Yeah, I think that's it. I think Mini's like, well, I've got some Dragoons and they've got good upgrades, but they're so bad against Hydras. The Hydras are at +2/+1. It's 3/2 upgrades, man. They'd have a shield upgrade too, except for that Forge that got killed by Hydras about 5 minutes ago. Maybe longer now. Yeah, Archon dead, 157 supply. It's amazing how good Mass Hydra is without that splash, right? Without those Reavers, without that storm. That's the trick. GG! Mini taps out and Queen is your winner. Okay, so what I've learned from this is I really need to give some benefit of the doubt to Zerg players who go Mutalisks in a ZVP. A lot of the time, they're stupid with them. They just lose them all to Corsairs, and it's sad. But if you're using them to snipe High Templar, great. You know what? Worth to make the Mutas in that situation. Otherwise, I say just don't make them. Wow, what a reversal. Queen, remember when I was like, he didn't make enough to defend against the Zealot attack. He lost a ton of drones here. His Spire got sniped. He lost all the smiting time inside the main base. All that happened, but then it made extra Mutas, sniped the High Templar. He went Mass Hydra. He did go for a Hive eventually, but he didn't have a Defiler mound at all, nor was he working on 3/3. So I guess that was just a contingency plan. He's like, I'm going to get a Hive in case I do need to throw down a Defiler mound or get 3/3. But nah, he didn't have to in the end. It was just Hydras. It was Lurkers today. It was some Zerglings, but mostly just Hydra stuff. And it does work. We're at 21 minutes, right? There's a window, as I always say. If the game goes to the 25, the 30-minute mark, and you're still just on Hydra and a Lurker, boy, you better be slowing down. Excuse me, you better be slowing down that Protoss player somehow. Amazing. Very good game from Queen. I don't know what else to say there. As usual, the player that's on the back foot loses. If the player's on the back foot towards the last part of the game, it's very rare a player is defending, and then, wow, they come across the map and they win, right? I guess maybe that's possible if Queen, like, walks through this choke with all these Hydras and it's like storm, and all the Hydras die. And the Mini's like, oh, and then he wanders out here and he kills everything and he wins. That would do it, but it would require some stupidity on the opponent player's part, and that's not super common. Fantastic. Great job there by Queen. Gets that win. 187,000 points there for Mini. 179 from Queen. Again, player has a higher score total, loses the game. More and more often we're seeing that on the channel. Not sure what that trend's all about. But outproducing the Protoss player by about less than a 2-to-1 ratio. Kill death ratio wasn't particularly great for the Protoss, though, and that's the reason this happened. Those High Templar dying were everything. They really were everything. 48,000 total spent here. 46 to 44,000. So it did outspend the Protoss, but only by about 2,000. And the reason this worked is because the High Templars died. There was about 50% as many storms in this game as were planned. For Mini. Mini was planning all of the storms. And then Queen was like, nah, not really going to happen, huh? All right, good stuff. Great stuff indeed. So that is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.